Hey guys, I actually read articles that said it was way easier to change the alternator if the motor's out of the car. Well, guess what? I wasn't that fortunate and I had to do this job while the engine was still in the car. But don't panic, it can be done. It's a bad job and it sucks. But you can do it and I'm going to show you how. The alternator is actually going to be a project I'm going to have to deal with. The alternator is intermittent. Sometimes it's charging and sometimes it isn't. I did read an article online talking about how the voltage regulator on these actually gets so hot that it actually melts the epoxy out of the voltage regulator. This is actually from the article. It says, however, there's warning signs where the epoxy resin melts and runs out of the voltage regulator aluminum casing. As the resin progressively melts, it leaves the solid state circuit exposed to dirt and condensation. The article goes on to say that in a short space of time, the unit fails completely and the alternator no longer charges the battery, leaving the owner stranded. I have evidence of that right here on top of my air conditioner compressor. The article continued by saying that once the process starts, resin continues to drip onto the components below, which is usually the air conditioner compressor. In the video, you can see where I started removing hoses from the firewall. Don't do this. This is not necessary. What you're seeing right here is the 13mm M8 bolt that sits at the top of the alternator. You will cuss this bolt because as hard as you try, I promise it is not going to come out without removing more stuff from the engine. The bracket highlighted in green will also need to come out. I've made a note here of the size wrenches you'll need to remove the bolts. There are a few things here that need to come off. There is two 13mm bolts and an Allen wrench bolt, I think it's 6mm, that have to be removed from near the engine block. I'll try to point them out. After the alternator is removed, it's actually a little easier to see the panel that you need to break loose in order to free the alternator. I'll point it out. So now I've got the alternator out, I've sent it off to be rebuilt, and I suspect I'll get it back in about a week or two. Anyway, stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe if you'd like to follow to see how this thing goes back in. Thanks for watching.